Hey everybody, I'm Gary,
Hi, and I'm Marianne.
and it is day 2 of the Forever a Catholic devotional for your marriage.
Yes.
So it's day 2, back to the beginning. And so, like we said, the past couple of days, we're going to do the daily challenge, I guess, right? We'll share that. Okay, you want me to?
Okay, so today's daily challenge is, what are some ways your spouse shows you love? How do you show yours in return? Read the first chapter of Genesis slowly and take time to absorb its poetic language and imagery. Discuss it with your spouse. What new insights come to mind?
We've actually talked about this before, about love language, right? You read the book. You shared your notes with me.
I had you take the test.
So basically, what's my love language again? I forget.
Oh my gosh.
No, I know this. I just don't know what they specifically call it because it's affirmation for you, which is like words. Oh, touch. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Ha. So the way I show my love is touch. So hugging, or like laying down next to each other, and that's how I show my love. Kisses on the cheek, stuff like that. That's how I show my and then how do you show yours in return? Oh, did you want to share that? I already said affirmation. Oh, well, how do I show her in return? And this is where I struggle with because I'm more of a physical touch person. Would be affirmation, like words to express like how much I love her. And I think just because I'm not a wordy person, I guess, and she needs that. So aside from you're awesome, you're the best, she needs more than those simple words like that. Yes. So, but then I try like other ways, like notes on the mirror. Um, just to say I love you, you're amazing, and stuff like that. Um, yeah.
He also makes these little heart-shaped letters for me every so often.
Oh yes, I do.
It's been a while.
Yes, I do.
But those are important to me because that is my love language. My love language is words of affirmation. And so I really try to show my love to my husband through his love language, which is not natural for me. I am not naturally a physically touchy kind of person. So I had to learn how to be that way with Gary because he loves hugs, he loves kisses, and so I'm really trying to make sure that when I come home from work that I go find him instead of putting my stuff down, changing, going to eat, and then going to find him and be like, hi. But my husband will make a beeline from the front door to find me wherever I am and to give me a kiss when he gets home. So that's really nice that he does that. I have to be very intentional about it for myself. And because, again, words are very important to me, I usually will write these really nice reflections on our relationship on Facebook, and whenever an anniversary comes up or his birthday or whatnot, then I'll say something really nice about Gary. And we shared recently when we did a marriage talk at HFYA in Artesia that I used to get upset with Gary because he would just hit the like button after one of these things that I posted about him, and that's it. That was like all the acknowledgement that I got. And so I would ask him, can you say something a little bit more? And so, he tries in his own way, and I do appreciate that. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you.
Yes, when you tell me that I'm awesome.
Yes.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
So we did read the first chapter of Genesis, and as Gary was reading it earlier, one of the new insights that came to mind, aside from already the obvious that God made us for each other, was that from the beginning, God prepared the entire universe just for Adam and Eve. He prepared the stars and the moon and the planets and everything, the land and the water and the animals and the trees, just so Adam and Eve could not just survive but thrive. And so one of the things that came to my heart was, even before we met on MySpace, God was already at work in so many different ways, and I had no idea. So for those of you who don't know, I was discerning to become a Carmelite sister in 2002, and I broke up a long-term relationship that I thought was going to end in marriage, so I could discern religious life. And my boyfriend and I were together for 7.5 years, and it was a really difficult decision, but it was something that I knew I needed to do. And when I had already spoken with the vocation directress at the Sacred Heart Retreat House in Alhambra, a month later I get diagnosed with lupus, and I did not know what direction my life would take. My boyfriend and I didn't end up getting back together because we knew just spiritually we're just not on the same page, and we're growing in two different directions. Both in the Catholic Church, both still very dedicated and devoted to the faith, but we just knew that it wasn't, the puzzle pieces weren't fitting, I guess you could say. So that entire summer, I was praying and begging God, can you please show me what I'm supposed to do next? You know, and the only thing that I knew I was sure of was the fact that I would go back to the classroom and teach, because I loved being a teacher and I loved the junior high kids. However, when it came to my own vocation, whether it was going to be staying single or getting married someday, I just didn't know, because here I am, you know, now I'm sick and I have an illness that has no cure. I don't know how it's going to progress in the future. At that point, I was kind of jaded and disillusioned, thinking, you know, I always wanted to marry somebody like my dad. You know, where in the entire universe is going to be a man who reminds me of my daddy? And so here, Gary is, you're in San Francisco and going through his own transformation and coming home to Jesus experience. And I happen to be going to Alabama to meet Mother Angelica, to tell her my story in person, face to face. And she just told me, as she held my hand, to pray. She just said, just pray, pray, pray. Okay, Mother, I'll pray. I'm praying a whole lot. And she knew that God would make it clear for me eventually. But again, I still had no idea. And later on that summer, I ended up in Poland, still praying on pilgrimage, and at the convent where Jesus appeared to St. Faustina. And I'm praying to the Lord, Jesus, I trust in you. Jesus, I trust in you. I do trust in you that you are doing something right now for my good, because you promised that you would work things out for those who loved you, and you're going to continue this.
Okay, well then, so I call it my prodigal son moment. Basically, like just kind of just falling, just doing really bad things, and just like really hurting the relationship I was in during that time. But I think one of the things that was really important is like the ex-girlfriend at the time told me, like, you need to go to church. So instead, then I just kind of did step further and just saw the priest at our nearby church at the time, Father Tony. And so basically that was just kind of the beginning of me coming back to faith. It's not like I've drifted far, it's just like I just wasn't present when I needed to be like in my prayer life and going to church and stuff. I was there, but I wasn't there, you know. So, but ever since just that rock bottom, and then turning my life around and just like really growing in my faith and really taking the time to like strengthen my faith through prayer, through church, Sunday mass, rosaries, um, other devotional prayers like that. So, um, and it just came to a point where uh, it just took a time where I just needed to heal from, so from my own falling. So then at some point, then I just asked God, just like, I think I'm ready to do whatever you want me to do. If you want me to be in a relationship, I put it in your hands. If you want me to be single, then I'm okay with that too. Just I'll put it in your hands, just whatever you want me to do. So I think with those, with my experience and with hers, then it's just kind of like um, just God's hands was just in the making, just the matchmaking, the creation of our relationship. So with our relationship, because we put it in His hands, He created our relationship out of love, and yeah, so we're a reflection of God's love.
And my husband is such a perfect fit for me. He is very much like my dad, by the way. My dad would go out and meet strangers on the street and really like take time to get to know them and ask them their name. Even when the homeless would come to us asking for money when we were little, uh, we would ask our dad, "Who was that?" And our dad would always say, "Oh, that's my friend, so and so," you know. And that's exactly what Gary does when, he's out with the kids and somebody comes to him and approaches him and, they're really hard up. They don't have a home, they don't have anything. And he takes the time to get to know them. And it's funny because my dad's birthday is on January 23rd and your birthday is on
The 24th of
January 24th. So the Lord really heard the deepest prayer of my heart. There's just so much that affirms that this is supposed to happen. And I ended up writing out our story from the time that we had met online, where he sent me that first MySpace message all the way up until the day that our courtship began. And I told him, I said, it was a gift to him once upon a time. And I told Gary, if I ever feel like bailing on this relationship, because I'm the kind of person that wants to quit when everything gets hard, I have to go back to the beginning where it all started. And it's the same thing with the book of Genesis. If we ever feel like God doesn't care about us and God abandons us, we have to go back to the beginning and realize He did all of this just for us. He created every little detail of this entire universe just so we can be here and love each other and love Him and be loved. And it's just really beautiful, the story of love that He has written for us.
Surprise guest, cameo again. So yeah, just to end it, and I don't know where I was going. Everyone's relationships are going to be unique, but keep it God-centered. Just put it in God's hands. Allow God to be the creator, like the sculptor molding the clay, and just allow it to just happen, I guess, Yeah, I want to say it. Does that sound okay?
Yes, that's perfect.
Yeah.
So if you haven't gotten Jackie and Bobby Angel's book yet, Forever, please pick it up. We just found out that it is available also on Kindle. Yeah, Rosary, isn't that exciting? So you can get it through Amazon, you can get it through Pauline Books and Media. I know, that's so exciting. And then if any of you want to join us in our Forever Book Club, my brother-in-law, Michael, had say hi. Oh my gosh. Had created a Facebook group for all of us that want to just kind of encourage each other and share insights with one another. So if you're interested in that, hit me up on Facebook, send me a private message, and then we'll add you on. Okay?
All right.
So we'll see you tomorrow.
Yes, see you tomorrow.
For the next challenge.
Okay, until then, God bless. Have a great day. Have a good night.
God bless you.